Okay, here's game 2. Open this up at ×2 speed. Just see how you guys start out. So you guys were trying to get early vision over into their red side jungle, because you wanted to spot out where Wukong was starting, so Ezreal could make some more aggressive early game plays. But you get spotted by Orianna. As soon as you get spotted by Orianna, you decide to make the move to go up, you should have done that sooner. You should have gotten vision on the own red side sooner, because they could have easily already been there. Now, you do later find Jarvan, but what could have happened is, so let's say, with how delayed you guys were from moving over here, like you didn't start moving until a little after 1, when it only takes 40 seconds to get to the river, and you immediately saw Orianna, so that was about 15 to 20 seconds that you were sitting idly. And so by the time you come over here, if they have more than just Jarvan right here, this turns out horribly for you. If this is Jarvan, Wukong, Orianna, sitting up in these bushes, which it very well could have been, then Ezreal gets massively chunked, or Shen gets massively chunked. Some of those spells have to get blown. Luckily, Orianna's not using Ignite, so it's probably not a kill, but being flashless on Ezreal, being flashless on Shen, is super unfortunate. So you need to make those sorts of plays sooner. You need to figure out what you're doing sooner, and react sooner to seeing the Orianna. So obviously, like, Orianna's not going to be over here because you saw it here, but there could be, like, their support over there. People do that kind of shit all the time. Now this ward is good, this one right here, but the fact that you didn't get any vision over here is unfortunate. You can use Ezreal's Q, so even though you know you got seen by the Orianna, you can use Ezreal's Q to feel out this bush here. Ezreal just like Qs into the bush from over here, Qing this direction. And then you have, knowledge of somebody's in there. It makes it, a visual cue and an audio cue if it hits something different from if it doesn't hit anything. And then you can move forward, and you can get a ward into that bush. And then if you get a ward into this bush, and it either scares them off, or you know that there's nobody in there, then you move into the bush, and somebody else puts their trinket over this wall. If you aim right here, while standing in the bush, the ward will go into the red pit. Alright. Let's continue to look forward. Now, obviously, Jarvan is an idiot for being in here by himself. Which there should be a ward directly where you guys are standing, because I can't imagine. There's either a ward right there, or there's a ward right here. Those are the only possible places Jarvan could have put a ward, unless he just is super stupid. Alright, this blue invade is pretty good. Wukong has no business going buff to buff. It really doesn't make any sense. That was a nice smite there for the heal. I liked that a lot. Yeah, I want to see actually what Wukong's pathing is here. Well, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, he just goes buff to buff. Even before he knows you're there, he's just immediately walking over. Yeah. That was just so bad on him. So, I mentioned earlier how Wukong, like, cannot clear effectively. And because he's just too weak. And so you can't go buff to buff. Even if he has the cooldown reduction on his summoner spells, he can't go buff to buff. He has to go buff wolves buff. It was also good. Shen was already preemptively roaming down. That's an unfortunate missed taunt. Taunt would have gotten a flash there. Twitch is sitting on too many charges of his trinket. That trinket needs to be in the tri-bush up here. it's fine when you're using the green trinket. It's fine to be sitting on 1 charge, but once it gets close to getting to 2, you need to make sure you get a ward out. You want to make sure that you're utilizing the time on that as much as possible. Alright, let's see. Ezreal is like way ahead right now. He's level 4.5. Wukong is barely level 3. Like, that's a massive advantage. Ezreal could be pressing even harder into the jungle. You don't need to go farm your jungle. Wukong has no way to respond to you when you're doing this invade. Let's back up. What's Wukong gonna do to you? And what's Orianna gonna do to you? Galio's TPing in. So if you're backing off, okay, you back off here. Go this way, because Orianna's coming down. Once the TP up here finishes channeling, and Galio's behind Orianna's going to have to blow summoner spells to not die, because Wukong, full level down, low mana, low health. You've got blue buff, full health. Orianna is fucked, and Wukong can't help. And you know their bot lane can't come and help, because they're shoved under their tower. And also, Jarvan doesn't have teleport, so you know there's no other assistance that can come. So this is, Ezreal should just stay right here, pressuring Orianna. And here in a second, we see that Orianna gets run back into lane. Yeah, so here's Orianna stuck in lane. Now, alright, instead of coming up here, Ezreal, you can come down and pressure on Wukong more. Orianna got massively chunked, and now she's completely stuck under the tower by Galio. Orianna has low mana. How much mana does she actually have right here? Let's look. Orianna's sitting at 150 mana. She gets to use 3 buttons, alright, which is this wave, and then she's out of mana. And she'll be able to, by the time the next wave comes, she'll have enough mana to use 1 more button. Galio just TP'd back in the lane. He's got Corrupting Potion, so he gets to keep queuing the wave over and over and over again. Orianna doesn't get to move. If Orianna recalls, the tower starts getting damage on it. If Orianna recalls, Galio hits 6 first. Galio hits 6 first while Orianna's recalled. You guys make a dive play bottom, or you make a play top. And all the while that Galio's shoving in Orianna, Ezreal's over here keeping Wukong off of his raptors. After that, you already know that their blue side jungle is emptied because you were just over here. You just helped clear that out, and you saw Wukong. You did that whole blue fight. So if Wukong clears this, he can't go clear his Krugs. You get to go clear his Krugs, and you can possibly get poke damage down here with Galio hitting level 6. And even if Orianna's still in lane, Galio hits 6. Galio gets to roam, and Orianna doesn't because she's too low. They don't have any options if Ezreal just stays inside of their jungle. This is the unfortunate dive where you would have killed her, but the minion body blocked the Q. That's fun. Right as Shen hits level 6, that's something that Orianna needed to be respecting. Yeah, this is an easy kill. Braum doesn't even use his buttons in the right direction. Obviously, you had the rough attack move there. So you only lost the fight due to a slight mechanical error. But otherwise, that fight easily goes in your favor. It's a good return gank knowing that Orianna is out of summoner spells, but Galio telegraphed too early. Galio started walking up when he could have just E'd as soon as she stepped into range. Just more pressure on Wukong. So absolutely what you need to be doing is Ezreal every time there's a weak jungler like Wukong. Easy dive. Well executed. Wukong looks like he's about to suicide. Yep. And you guys get this tower. Let's see. Okay, so this was an area where you guys were having a little bit of struggle deciding what to do, who should back, who should defend mid, and how to do it. So respawn timers are low right now. So Jarvan's back soon, right? Jarvan's not going to teleport back to the lane. You guys can finish off this tower. You look at mid, you know Orianna's not getting this tower. Somebody was saying that during the game, that Orianna's not going to be able to close this tower out. Look at the mini-map, look at the minion wave, okay? She's going to get minions here before this wave gets cleared out, so she's going to get more time on the tower. So the tower's going to get low. It's not going to get taken before this tower goes down. 3 of you take this tower, and then you can leave. Bot lane is fine. So what you're wanting to do is clear this top tower. That completely frees Shen up to do just whatever the hell he wants. If Jarvan is smart, well, we're not going to worry about what Jarvan would do if he was smart. We're just going to talk about this. So, okay, you guys clear this tower. That frees up Shen to move around the map, to use his ult more freely. Galio still has teleport up, so you guys clear this tower. Galio recalls. Galio TPs back mid, clears Orianna off the wave. Ezreal can go ahead and, like, how much gold is Ezreal sitting on? Ezreal's sitting on almost 2k, so Ezreal goes ahead and recalls here, finishes up this, you know, maybe gets a boost or something like that. And then, with Shen's ult coming back up in some amount of time, actually it looks like it's up now, then you make the 5-man play on bot lane that I was talking about, which should happen right after this tower falls. So the order is, you guys kill the tower, Galio recall, well, all 3 of you recall, and then Galio teleports mid, Ezreal paths down to bottom, Shen paths back up top, dips around with Jarvan, okay, and then, let's go to the bot lane. Rakan is going to flash, he's going to R, that's not even an R, he's going to R, flash, W, to hit them, right? And then when they're probably going to be, you know, say somewhere over here, R flash W to knock both of them up, charm both of them. There's 0 counterplay to the RW from Rakan, because unless they flash when you flash, which these people don't have the mechanics to do that, they are going to be charmed, so they can't, without a QSS, there's no way to, or cleanse, there's no way to avoid the knock-up. And then as soon as Rakan goes in, Galio ults and Shen ults. You don't even wait for damage to start coming in, you just immediately ult. By the time the charm is over and Rakan's knockup is over, Galio's knockup's coming in, then Shen's ult finishes channeling, Shen taunts, they're dead, but with 0 counterplay being available, because they, I guarantee, are not fast enough to flash when Rakan flashes, which is, they have like a half-second window to respond, and that's it. Alright. And then once they're dead, this tower falls, you guys get Dragon. And you know you just killed Wukong, so even if Wukong immediately paths back down bottom, you know he's not level 6, so there's literally nothing he can do. And Orianna is too far away, and Galio just spent the time shoving Orianna back under her tower. And Orianna's probably going to use that time to recall, to be honest. Alright. Yeah, see, Galio should have recalled instead of teleporting, and then you die to Jarvan. This happened, I think, yesterday or the day before as well, with somebody. Don't recall so close. Don't recall in enemy vision, ever. unless you absolutely have to, or you've got Baron recalling you, you can get away with it. If you step back into the Fog of War, step back into the bush, and then recall, you're fine. And then you get to TP to mid, full health, full mana. And so right now, so Galio died, and then he TP'd mid and did exactly what he needed to do of shoving in the Orianna, and right now Ezreal could be making this play down bottom. And it doesn't matter if they recall or not. If they recall Dragon Juice, you immediately take Dragon if they recall, since there's no more dive to be had. You just take the Dragon for free, because they're off the map. If they're off the map, you know you're not going to get contested 2v4 by Orianna and Wukong. It's a free Inferno Drake. So that could be an Inferno Drake at 11:40, 11:45. Yeah. It's good body blocking from Galio. Everybody lives. No. Most people still have summoner spells up. Yeah. Now, here, you guys just get this tower, right? Ezreal doesn't need to recall. Ezreal should go help Dragon. He doesn't need to recall. You know there's no one that's going to contest you on Dragon. You just killed Wukong, and their bot lane, you've got vision of them. So you need to just take the Dragon. You don't have vision of Orianna right now, but it doesn't matter. Like, she's not going to walk into you guys 1v4. So, it's a free Dragon, if nobody recalls you. So I think you guys wound up getting it anyways, but it would have been just a lot cleaner if Ezreal doesn't recall, and you 4-man the Dragon. Yeah, that was a little bit spooky. Galio's itemization is wrong, but that's not a huge deal. For any champion on how to do itemization, look up pros on I think it's best.gg. It's the OPGG that just specifically follows pro players, and always just look up what items they're building. Oh, and generally look at the Korean pros, because NA and EU pros still aren't that good when, you know, in the grand scheme of things. And obviously, we're like 20,000 tiers below Korean pros, but still want to learn from the best to be able to, you know, emulate them, right? So this is where you guys are starting to get stalled out a little bit by Orianna's wave clear, and this is where you should just be using your pressure to take the Rift Herald, or the Rift Herald, because if you take the Rift Herald, all these people just die on bot lane. I think I remember this fight. Okay, so Twitch is pushing up here, which you don't need to be doing this solo push either. It's very risky. Luckily, they're super far behind, and you get a good flash. And then Ezreal just kind of blows them up. Looks like. Oh, Rakan is such a good champion. Yeah, alright. So definitely with them dead, you guys push up and you get this tower, which is the correct play. Now, alright, let's assume that they don't make a play where they just die, 2 of them die for free. Okay? What you could have done, and what would have been a higher percentage play, you guys are having trouble in mid lane because Orianna is just clearing the shit out of her wave. So if you move your bot lane up here, Rakan was already up in the mid lane, so Twitch just needs to move up there because it's too dangerous for Twitch to be alone. They would have killed him if it was just the 1v2, but luckily they didn't have vision of Ezreal, and so they just walked into Ezreal. But so all of you guys should be up here. There should be nobody in bot lane, and then you guys just take the Herald, and then you 1-4-0 the map, drop the Herald in mid, and Orianna has one item. She's not going to be able to clear the Herald, and you know that, like, if we assume that they're still in the same position that they were, then they've got two people in bot lane. You know, they've got their support and their ADC down here, or their jungler and their ADC rather, which means that you guys can 4-man push down this turret. By the time these people move up, the Rift Herald is already going to have taken out this tower, because you guys have 4 people pushing on them, and Shen is pushing Jarvan off here, and Shen's ult is up, ready to be used in case they engage on anything. And then you've got Rift Herald here at 16.5 minutes, and it's very easy to take the tower. But now, since that didn't happen, let's look at the play that actually did happen, which turned out pretty good, because they bumbled into you, you got 2 kills, without losing anything, and then you come and take this tower, which is really nice. But you should back off as soon as you get the tower, because there's no way you're getting pressure onto an inhibitor turret. Yeah, so you don't need to be poking Braum or anything like that, just immediately back up, and recall and go to Rift Herald. Rakan's in a good position here because if they try to make any plays, Rakan just Rakan just forces them out if they try to make any plays. Now this is where Ezreal dies because he tries to get too greedy onto Jhin. You could have just left it as it was. You didn't need to E in there. And obviously this whole fight goes bad. But if you don't E in there and you leave the Jhin chunked out as it was, you just immediately summon the Rift Herald down in the middle of the lane and you shove forward. And then Shen comes in behind them and you actually look to dive. Even though they're all grouped up, you can look to dive with Galio's ult. You don't even need to use Shen's ult, because Shen can start taking the tower. Since he's the tankiest member on the team, Shen gets tower aggro immediately and then gets Galio ulted, so he's getting the DPS reduction. And then the AoE knockup is going to come down. And they either back off the tower or they're going to lose members and the tower. And the point of the dive is to make them back off the tower. It's actually better for you if they do. But if they don't, you should be able to win the fight if you can keep only like 2 members getting hit with the Orianna ult, and none of them are Twitch, which is obviously very important. Twitch not getting caught by Orianna. And then you could convert that mid tower into another Inferno Drake, because it's up right now. Or Mountain Drake, rather. Pretty sure this symbol up here is an Inferno Drake. So, Wukong was nowhere near the dragon, which is fine, but you guys didn't have vision on him, so what you should have had is Galio waiting with his taunt. When the dragon starts getting low like that, or any objective, Galio can start channeling his taunt, and so if the guy comes over, then you just immediately taunt him and kill him. Yeah, unfortunately they're too grouped up for the Rift Herald to be effective there, but it was about to time out, so you had to use it. I think this is the fight that you would have won if Twitch used his heal. That might be coming up later. Yeah, so you guys go into the 1-3-1 now, which is good. So you're forcing them off, except that Ezreal backs off and does Raptors. There's no reason for Ezreal to be on Raptors while the other 2 lanes are pushed up. Since these lanes are pushed up and you see them back off, you can have all 5 people collapse in mid. So the way you keep track of this with split pushing like this. So Shen had his wave up here, and Galio had his wave down here. And then you see 3 people. You see 2 people come over here and 1 person come down here. Galio would then just walk up, and Shen would just walk over, and you guys would make the 5v2 dive and take the tower that way. Or you just brute force the tower out. Those are the sort of plays you make to get past the high wave clear champions like Anivia and Orianna. Yeah, this is the fight that you would have won if Twitch used his heal. So going after Orianna here, was the right choice. Flashing in a straight line was the wrong choice, and then using Summoner Heal right there wins this fight. If you use Summoner Heal, Galio and you survive the Jhin ult, and you have the DPS to kill Braum and Jarvan, and then Jhin doesn't get to do anything. Because Jin's not actually in the fight, he's max range ulting. So now the game's kind of in like another stalemate situation because you just lost the fight and they're pushing up. And there's no dragon on the map, which is obviously the easiest objective to take. So you want to start looking at other objectives that you can capitalize on. And you've already seen that you're not getting past Orianna in mid lane. But you've got both teleports up, so you can go back to a 1-3-1 strategy. You've got the tier 2 top lane turret that you can probably get. Shen already has his Titanic. Jarvan has been having trouble up there with him. It's actually, you two have basically identical scores. But Shen can easily just stay up top against that, and they keep sending Jhin down with Galio, which is actually ideal for you guys, because Jhin has no way to get to the team, and Galio has 2. So if you guys pick a fight while Jin's down bottom, Galio is there and Jhin is not. It's a 4v5 at worst. Yeah, so now you need to be converting on the dragon. Which, I think I was saying, well, earlier in this game, like, around this point, I think I was telling you guys that you should have been just recalling and getting control wards, because you see the dragons coming up soon, and even before this, you should be recalling to get control wards and go get control wards down on the dragon, so you can kill it as soon as it comes up. You don't need to wait for the dragon to be up to go to it, you need to be on the dragon 10-15 seconds before it comes up. And something like an Ocean Drake, it's also very important to recognize what dragons are good for what team comps. So you have a team comp that fucking loves Inferno Drake. Obviously, Inferno Drake is good for any team comp because it just gives so much damage. But a team comp with yours that has 3 damage dealers, like Galio is a tank, but he does a lot of damage because of percent health, you guys are gonna incredibly benefit from an Inferno Drake. But now something like an Ocean Drake where they get the Smite steal on it, is really good for the team comp, because you guys have already been having trouble stopping Orianna's wave clear. Now Orianna has that bonus mana regen. An Air Drake would be something that would benefit both of these teams, because an Air Drake benefits the 1-3-1 team comp. But then it also helps them counteract your 1-3-1 split push. Just because of the extra move speed. And then an Earth Drake is just always good because every team is obviously trying to take objectives, so there's never a bad team comp to take Earth Drakes with. It was kind of explosive without really a lot of things happening. So I think Orianna should... There are a lot of times when Orianna could ult onto Twitch and doesn't. You need to be more careful with your positioning. I know it's very hard to keep track of Orianna balls, but it's something you need to do. So this is the situation where you've chunked them out, and your only person that's low is Ezreal. If you go and you just sit in this bush over here, you unfortunately have no control wards and no red sweepers up, which you need to have. But then, so if you had recalled and gotten control wards and gotten sweepers before going to the dragon, then you would also be able to make this play that I'm going to talk about now, which is you would come up here, after chunking them out in mid. Ezreal's your only low character. You clear the vision in this bush, you sit in this bush, you clear the vision on Baron, and you sit, and so they have to assume you're on Baron. They come up and you just kill them. Alright, so Jarvan dies for free. You guys immediately need to collapse onto Baron. Galio needs to body block that. Alright, so let's talk about the how to navigate a tricky Baron fight like this. When you know the jungler's bottom, which is obviously why this is a nice play to go for. Alright. So you see Jhin's ult opening up, right? And the information that you have is that Jarvan's dead and that Wukong's bottom, which means at worst it's a 3v5. Alright, so Jhin's ult's opening up. Galio can move down here to start body blocking for the carries. Okay, Twitch has flash, Ezreal has his E, so you two move to the back of the wall. Rakan's the most fucking mobile champion in the game, almost. Like, next to LeBlanc and some other shit, like Cassidy. But for supports, he's basically, like, the most mobile. So the three of you move to the back of the pit over here, while Shen and Galio are here. They're body blocking the Jhin ult, and they're still tanking the Baron. And then after that goes down, you guys just flash over the fucking wall. Twitch flashes, Ezreal E's, Rakan uses his dash, one of his two dashes. Shen dashes over the wall, and Galio's flashes back up, so Galio flashes over the wall. And then you guys just leave. That's how you navigate a Baron fight like this. Because you're going to take the damage from the Jhin, and you know the shockwave is going to do a ton of damage to you. So you just leave. And then you just got away with Baron, and you blew two flashes, but you got the Baron, so you are then going to be able to pressure down the Orianna that you've been having trouble wave clearing against. So let's look at how much damage Jhin does here with his ult. So he hits Twitch. Hits Shen. And gets a big hit off on Shen. Ezreal secures. But you guys got massively chunked out by the Orianna ball. The Orianna ball just did like a quarter of the health here and here. Twitch had no reason to be that close to Braum. Galio and Shen are the only two people that had any reason to be that close, but Shen doesn't have any MR, so he got super chunked out. As you can see here, and Twitch is almost dead. Or Shen's almost dead, and Twitch got half health. So if you guys were at the back of the pit, you could have just gotten out. But I think you still might have been able to do so, even with these lower HP bars. If Ezreal just E's over the wall, let's see, Ezreal's E is up, and Rakan can just W, like, Rakan just goes W here, and then, like, E, and then E to Ezreal when he's on the other side of the wall, and then the rest of you just flash out. Because this is, once you get hit with this shockwave, it's never a fight that you're winning. Yeah, like, there's never anything that you're doing with that play, Ezreal. It's a perfectly fine teleport. So, you have Baron still on several important members. It's unfortunately not on Galio, which means your 1-3-1's not so strong, but you can still 0-4-1, 1-4-0. Or, yeah, I think 0 or 1-4-0 is what you want to do. Because the tier 2 top lane turret's still up, which is going to be way easier to pressure than the inhibitor turret. So now you guys could just all rotate top. And also not take this fight, ever. Like, never take that fight. One, because you don't have Galio, and two, because their team fight likes jungles even more than Twitch does. Meanwhile, Wukong soloing the dragon. Here, Ezreal should just ult bot wave instead of anybody going down there. It's unfortunate. So this is a trap, like, it's a really tricky situation with split pushing, whether it's 1-4 or 1-3-1 team comps, however you wanted to split push. It's very tricky to navigate these sorts of situations. You've got to be careful. So Galio right now is all the way at their tier 2 bot lane turret, or the rubble of it, while everybody else is on their red side. There's no help for Galio, because Shen's ult is down. So Galio needs to be backing up. Galio doesn't have any trinkets up, so he doesn't have any vision. So he just needs to leave. He can maybe go do Krugs. It's a little bit risky because you don't have any vision over here. But you can do Krugs, pull them this way. Like if you pull the Krugs, like if you come over here to do Krugs and you pull them back this way and you're doing them over here, you can see if somebody's coming over this way, or you can see on the minion wave if anybody's going to be coming from down here, and then you can just peel off if anybody shows up. And then you just wait for the rest of your team to get back in position. Shen's going to keep pushing this up here. Let's look at gold. So yeah, you got a lot of gold just sitting on your jungler, your AD carry, and your mid laner. Which Galio is fine to continue staying out without backing, because he's got 3 full items. He doesn't need to turn the Negatron Cloak into anything yet. And Ezreal probably needs to back, finish something out of this Vamp Scepter. 1,500, yeah, it's 1,400, I believe, to finish Shiv out of Zeal. So Twitch goes ahead and goes back and does that. And then after you guys have recalled, spent your gold, the 3 of you here, shove down mid. Push against their super minions. With the 3 of you in mid, you're going to counteract their super minions. And you still have... Let's see. Some amount of time here. Okay. So yeah, you push down, shove down the mid wave. Galio, finishes up Krugs, dances around for a second before shoving this wave back down, and by then Shen is up here. And then you're in a good position to actually start making moves. Because the main thing you don't want to do is be pressuring one lane while the other 2 lanes don't have any pressure. Because that's how people die. You need to make sure that you're pressuring all 3 lanes at once, and you need to make sure that you can rotate between the lanes. So if the 3 of you push up to this turret here. So you're sieging here at turret range, while Galio's down here and Shen's over here. Right? They're going to be responding to you, because they're not going to be worried about Galio taking an inhibitor to it. They might have one person here, but they're going to have 4 people against you, which means then you guys just back up, and then you just go through their jungle and take this turret. And then you've got 4-0-1, and then they have to respond that way. And then once they respond and they send their 4 people come back over to top lane, then you send your 4 people over to mid lane and you take this turret, because your wave is coming. You've got another wave on it. All right. Galio needs to be in bot lane right now. Shen should just be matching Jarvan. This is weird. Now you guys have pumped up 5 in mid, which doesn't do anything. Yeah, you just get blown the fuck up. Yeah, there's never even any reason to look for a 5v5, because your 5v5 is way weaker than theirs. You have a team comp that's entirely designed around making 5v3 fights happen. Alright. Covered a lot about this one. This is probably a little bit longer than I wanted it to be. But yeah, so working with 1-3-1 team comps and just how to work a 1-4-0-0-4-1 or any other iteration of that. Like sometimes you might even have 3-1-1s or 1-1-3s. Just learning how to move with the minion waves and keep them running around the map. With a team comp like yours, movement speed is super important. You all have, like, everyone in the game has tier 2 boots at this point. But getting yours sooner than they do is even better for this sort of team comp, so you can just be moving faster, and you can get to the turrets before they do. So if you, like I was saying earlier, you get 1 person top, 3 people mid, 1 person bottom. They send most of their people to fight mid. That's when you rotate top and take the top tower, and then they send their people to defend top, and so then you rotate mid and take mid tower. And then you get them down to just inhibitor turrets, and that's when it gets a lot trickier. Breaking inhibitor towers is way more difficult. But then you peel back, you clear all of the vision off of the map from them, and you get vision down in their blue side and on Baron, and then you set up and take the Baron, and then you use the Baron, you go back into a 1-3-1. Their inhibitor towers are so close together, Galio doesn't even have to move to ult to you. So you just 1-3-1 with either Shen top or Galio top, either way, and you just shove in with Baron in 3 different lanes. And suddenly Orianna's wave clear means nothing, because the Baron minions get, like, magic resistance. So they can't clear the wave. Jhin doesn't have the wave clear to deal with it. They have to put 5 people or 4 people in 1 lane, and they just lose inhibitor towers. So hopefully that kind of helps understand a little bit about rotations. It's a difficult concept, but macro gameplay, it's something that I really like to focus on, because it's, like, if you watched Worlds, it's how Samsung won all 3, like the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and the finals matches. They just used macro gameplay to take towers and objectives, and it's difficult to get a grasp on, because you do fall into those slumps of, what do we do now, how do we move, and there's a lot of needing to learn how to use minion waves to your advantage. And if you need more information about how to manipulate minion waves, how to set up slow pushes, and how to set up freezes, and anything else like that, I can also make a video on how to do all that.